Hey, Daniel Getman here. In the next class we're going to go over is the Cleric. Clerics are more of a defensive or support class. They don't do a ton of damage, um, but they're just about everyone's best friend, simply for their resurrecting abilities. But we'll get into that a little bit later. What's kind of nice about the Clerics is they can heal themselves in combat, which is really cool. The One of the downsides is they don't use any bladed weapons, so everything has to be blunt weapons. And also, during their surfing sessions, they generate more hit points for every page view, which is useful for getting your hit points back up before the next fight. So here's your little snippet about the cleric, which again can be found on the class info page. Here are the three cleric abilities during combat. One is the first one is heal. What's kind of nice about the heal is cleric heals do 3 times more than pally heals do. So the cleric is really good at the healing. The second skill is regen, which basically regenerates hit points on every turn. So it's kind of nice to hit that and then fight, because during your combat you still get hit points back while you're fighting every time, every round, basically. The last thing is purge. Um, Purge removes all negative effects on the cleric. So if the cleric gets poisoned or the cleric gets cursed, you can actually remove that on the fly with the cleric. They're the only class in the game that can do that. No other class can remove negative effects. So that's kind of neat. Let's take you to the combat page really quick. Before we get there, you're going to notice that there's a resurrection spell down here. Resurrection basically kind of explained a little bit in the surf video, but if somebody dies over here on the side, there'll be a little what's it called, cross icon that you can click on if you're a cleric or a paladin, and their gravatar also turns into a tombstone. So instead of the person having to surf out of death, which we'll get into again in the death video, I could click their little plus icon and bring them back to life instantly. What's really neat about the cleric res is depending on the cleric's level and the level of the person they're resurrecting, they get more hit points back. Whereas a pally res, if pally resurrects somebody, they start with 1 hit point. So the cleric res is, if you die, hope a cleric's going to res you, because it's really, really nice to come back to life with, at possibly full health and be able to fight right away instead of having to surf to get your hit points back. When you resurrect someone, your resurrection icon will go gray and gray out, and then I believe that's also on a 1 hour recast timer. You also get extra XP whenever you res somebody too, so it is beneficial for the cleric to res somebody, because it helps them level up faster. They get experience points that way. So let's go ahead and go into combat. And my gravatar is broken. That is, oh no, there it goes. Just took a second. So, anyways, here's normal spell, heal, regen, and I have nothing to purge, so it's grayed out on me. But I can do this, for instance, click regen, and now for the next 5 turns, I will get hit points back while I fight. So I can attack this guy and get hit points back. And my regen finally weared off. So let me cast regen again and fight this guy some more. And as you can see, it's more about survival for the cleric. Oh, I forgot to mention also, you'll notice that their skill pool is blue. Instead of rage, instead of energy, clerics and actually paladins as well use mana points or magic points. Magic points tend to drop fairly slowly when you cast spells and stuff, but the magic points don't come back very quickly at all. It's really, really slow. So you kind of want to be careful when you're casting magic spells, because if you run out, it's going to take a really long time for that to come back. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. Man, I got another drop. That's kind of unusual to get 3 in a row like that. But anyways, I can pick that up now, and that's basically it for the cleric. And like I said, clerics are everyone's best friend just for being able to resurrect people at full health. That's one of the coolest things about being a cleric. And like I said, their survivability is they're more of a defensive class. They survive a lot more fights than other classes will, simply because they can heal themselves and still heal themselves and fight at the same time, which is pretty cool. So, thanks for watching. Next up, Paladin.